Okay, last but not least, we have big data analysis. Now, big data is kind of a new buzzword. Everyone's kind of talking about it. No one really fully understands, what the implications of it are yet because it's so new. It can really make the identification of data and of correlations between things apparent that we really just had no idea of that existed before. All right, so in other words, it has the ability to kind of parse through and analyze massive, massive amounts of data quickly and make correlations with that data. Okay, we're talking about unstructured data, not things that are in databases or spreadsheets. These are things that really have no schema, if you will. Okay, it's just flat files are just thrown in, log files, and all kind of things generated from devices, router switches, PCs, phone metadata, internet logs, traffic, everything you can possibly think of can be just thrown in to a repository, and then a big data analysis tool can parse through all of those things and find connections and find correlations. All right, so it can identify those connections and correlations that may otherwise have been missed, and it can identify trends and make predictions based upon real-time and historical data. So some organizations use it to determine if a person likes this, there's a good chance they're going to like this because they're friends with these people, and these people like these things as well, and they make all of these types of connections. So places like Amazon and Facebook and Google, they all have big data analysis that takes place from a commercial point of view or from a kind of a social media point of view. From a law enforcement perspective or from an investigative perspective, we can pull in all this data as well and make connections between, identify just the way someone types, the characters that they use, whether they use smiley faces or the way they capitalize things. You can start to make connections between vast amount of chat logs and just different types of repositories of information. You can pull all that data in, start connecting the dots that you would never see if you were just a human being sitting in front of a large repository of data. So the big data analysis engines, again, Hadoop, Hortonworks, there's a number of them out there. Splunk is a commercial kind of a big data tool that's really taking off a lot lately. That can pull data in from lots of different places and do correlation and so forth. So there's a lot of room for growth here with big data. We're kind of on the very, very cusp of how these tools rather can be used from an investigative standpoint. But just understand that right now it takes unstructured data, and it can sift through this massive amount of data and identify trends and make predictions based upon that real-time information. So data sources can be syslogs, unified threat management logs, IDS, IPS systems, okay, intrusion detection or prevention systems. And as I mentioned, it can take data from all of these disparate systems, combine them, and actually find connections between. So when we're looking for a breach, we're looking for someone coming in trying to hack, or distributed denial of service attack, or they're doing, trying to access certain files and so on and so forth. It can identify those patterns and connections and present actionable data. It can give us reports and say, this is normal over a period of time. All of a sudden, it can identify an anomaly and then flag that anomaly or kick off some other type of workflow or an alert and bring it to the attention of people that can do something about it. So again, big data is kind of on the cusp of becoming very, very mainstream, and it's something that we should definitely make it a point to become familiar with as you kind of grow and develop within your security career.